FJA Masters event in Palm Beach County. I'm here with two awesome guys, incredible guys that created a really cool software. It's online. It's to help settle cases, and it's called Settlement Driver. And tell me a little bit about it. We spoke about it earlier today, and I liked it. I said, wow, this is cool software for attorneys. Let's talk about it. How did you guys even come up with this idea?
Well, I'll let Sanj, my business partner, tell you the reason why we started to develop the software.
So actually, I'm a physician by background, believe it or not, but had the desire and perhaps stupidity to do a Master's of Law degree, which gives you some legal knowledge. You don't get a JD, but when I was in contract class, I started to think about my own history, and I've been involved in a lot of civil litigation, much of which resulted in mediation. And I found the mediation process to be really pretty frustrating. I'm an OCD kind of guy and really meticulous, and I found that it was difficult for me to follow the process. And I worked with a number of outstanding attorneys and outstanding mediators, but they have a lot going on. And, they were receiving information verbally, via email, via text, handwritten notes. And, it was kind of a jumble of things. And what I found being so OCD is that many things were missed, perhaps a little bit disorganized. It was hard to follow the timeline. We would decide upon certain things, and then certain terms might drop off because people just forgot about them. And so, born out of that frustration, I started to think about whether we could do this in a better way. And then when I was in contract class in law school, which by the way was a blast, for me as a physician, just going to law school and hanging out with attorneys was awesome. Most of my friends are attorneys, actually. So,
which school was that at?
University of Akron.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty great experience, kind of a hybrid program, but I got to sit next to law students, and yeah, it was phenomenal. So anyway, I then got together with my friend Dale, who's in the software business, and we, have a company and do a number of technology-related endeavors. Started to talk to him about whether we could create a platform that would really kind of seamlessly tie together this process and make it digital, make it efficient, make it fast, make it organized, and really do something unique that would be a value-added service to mediators, attorneys, clients, and anybody else who basically wanted to get to a negotiated settlement. As you all know, being attorneys, 99% of cases that are litigated will end up in some form of settlement. So the market for this is huge, and we wanted to create a product that really followed the natural workflow of an attorney or mediator. So having a lot of friends, got them in a room. We started to have a lot of discussions, got mediators that, were operating at a very high level to provide guidance, and populated an advisory board. And, through their advice and mentorship, and also through my own personal experience and also going to law school, we started to map out what this should really look like. And then Dale made it actually kind of go live. So Dale, I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I remember the first time that we met, about the product we wanted to develop. It was at a restaurant, probably like at 7 o'clock at night, and I had a little notepad and my little pen and paper and just trying to jot things down the way he wanted to do it. From there, it kind of like snowballed. So as Sanj said, we spoke to several different high-powered litigant attorneys, and they gave us the way to put the flow together so it's very simple, easy to do. And it mirrors the same process that you would do, live, in person. So it's pretty simple. You go and start a case. You can be a plaintiff, defendant, or a mediator. Create the case. You pretty much invite the other attorney. You select the different types. Select the different type of litigation. It could be commercial, domestic, personal injury, or employment. From there, you select your terms or your demands. And then once you do that, you can upload any type of documentation from a PDF file, photos to videos. You follow the process. You can take private notes on the case that are only available for you. We call it our digital notepad. From there, you review it, and then you confirm it. And then once you confirm it, The opposing party immediately gets a text notification and an email that invites them to the case. However, along the process, at any given time, you can invite clients to it.
Okay.
Now, you can invite your client, like for somebody like Sanj, who is very OCD, so he wants to know what's going on at any given time.
That's true.
He can be invited to, God. Anyway, you can invite him to the case. Now, he would only see different privileges. So, for example, he would have only read privileges. However, if you wanted to have like a paralegal on the case, you can invite your paralegal. They can have edit privileges.
Okay.
So it's very flexible and robust the way it's set up. After the initial invite is sent to the opposing party or opposing attorney, they would go into the system at no cost to them, and they would log in.
Who pays for this?
The starting attorney does.
The initiating attorney pays for it, who says, hey, I want to use this platform.
Right.
They pay for it. And it sounds really affordable. It's like, what would you say it was right now?
It's based on a SaaS model, so it's a monthly subscription. It ranges anywhere from $99 a month to $399 a month.
Depending on usage
It depends on open cases.
Okay.
So, for example, at $99 a month, you can have 2 open cases. However, if you settle one, you still get another one to open again.
Okay.
All the way to $399 is unlimited.
Okay.
A lot of different software products, specifically like CRMs, will charge you by the users. We don't charge you by the users.
Yeah,
So,
I hate that by the user model.
Yeah,
I hate that.
It's terrible. It gets super expensive.
Yeah.
So here you can have 100 users, 2 users, or 1,000. It really doesn't matter to us.
Okay.
So anyway, once the invited attorney, we call it our guest attorney, gets the invite, free for them, they go there and they would review the case. From there, they could edit certain parts of the case, but very little because they didn't start the case.
Okay.
And then once they confirm the case, they will go to our proprietary settlement board. And it's set up like a scorecard that was his idea based on being in the medical industry, how physicians are graded.
Yeah, so physicians really were very simple. And so our scorecards are basically green, yellow, and red. And so when you come in the morning, and I'm an intensive care unit physician by background.
Yeah, can you tell us, because you're not like a family physician, you're a hardcore.
No, I'm the guy you probably don't want to see. Actually, because it means that you're really sick.
Okay.
You're probably on life support. You might have had a cardiac arrest and had CPR and survived it, or you might have some horrible life-threatening infection. And then you see my face, and that's probably not good. So happy to.
They're in good hands, but they're in a bad situation.
I've been doing this a long time, but so in that environment, we have scorecards that are color labeled, and it's very easy to see. If our quality metrics are all red, then that's bad. You need to start fixing things in whatever healthcare environment you're in. So we thought that would be a really good visual aid for attorneys as well. And the settlement board that we have come up with really lends itself to it. So by the time you start, you've got all your deal points on one side, and all the deal points are red because there's no agreement. And then as you start to chip away at things, eventually the whole board turns green once you have decided and agreed upon terms.
So are you guys gamifying mediation in a way, making it kind of not fun, but everybody loves little, now Litify, which is a lot of lawyers use, right?
Yes.
It's really gamifying the practice. Hey, check that box green. You get the check mark, and now everybody's like, "Oh, I got a check mark. Let's go to the next check mark. Let's solve this puzzle." Is that?
I think that's actually I never thought about it that way. But you're right. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody wants some sense of accomplishment. Like, all right, we got that done. Okay.
So you're kind of fiddling with the cube, and then, you get all the colors aligned and, things line up.
Satisfaction. Right. And you want to resolve it instead of walking away.
It's positive reinforcement, right?
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
It's very easy to see at any given point where you're at in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when it's accepted, it turns green.
Yeah.
When it's rejected, it's still red.
Right.
Or you can have the ability to provide a new offer.
Okay.
Which is
like
blue.
a counter offer.
Yeah. And then yellow means that you need to do something. You need to make a decision, either accept, reject, or counter.
Okay.
And you just basically type it into the field, or if you're like me, I like to dictate it into the field, and you just press save. And once you press save, it goes immediately back to the other party. They'll get a notification immediately. The case participant, as we call it, could be the client, it could be the paralegal, or it can be whatever. they'll get a notification that there's been a change in the settlement board. And then the opposing attorney goes back and he can go back and counter and do whatever. So you basically play ping pong until all the terms are agreed upon.
Now, is this, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Abe. I actually, the ping pong idea, this is kind of a little bit wacky, but I'll explain it. So, I'm a lung doctor also. And so there was this navigation system that was developed so that we could take biopsies of little lung nodules. It was actually, the technology was developed by the Israeli military who, were trying to kind of get a sort of a digital ping pong game. So they had all this localization of for the ball and stuff. And it's kind of like a lung nodule. Lung nodules, like precancerous lesions, are round.
Okay.
So they developed this kind of software. And so, it got me thinking about this digital ping pong game that they had come up with. And, part of my frustration in the settlement process is how long it took. Because really there's nothing driving it. Okay. And so when you have terms and you say, okay, I accept this, reject, counter, blah, 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 and you have your 50 deal points, then those are pushed to the other attorney and the other party for them to review. They'll get a text, they'll get an email. And then once they look at this and then do the same, it's pushed back. So it really is like a game of ping pong. But that's where I got the idea from in a very circuitous way.
Okay, cool. And what I was going to ask is, I just we have an insurance company suing a doctor. They're claiming the doctor did XYZ fraudulently. The doctor said, I'm board certified, forget about you guys, right?
Right.
And we're going to go sit down on a mediation and get in depth with the materials. One, scheduling was an absolute nightmare because there's multiple attorneys involved. So I don't know if do you have that capability yet?
Absolutely.
Is that you do in the like you could list your times that you're available and then
Yes.
okay, that's incredible because it was so frustrating because I was like, everybody's busy, right?
Right.
So it's like trying to get 3 different law firms, multiple lawyers. It's a nightmare. But also because it's not just our schedules, but then the mediators' schedules, right? So that's convenient. And is this something that mediators would, you had mentioned an initiating attorney or what do you call the attorney who initiates, says, hey, I want to use this program.
We call it the starting attorney.
The starting attorney. Is that for mediators as well? Could a mediator say, hey,
start a case as well.
This is my platform. I want to use this platform.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And with the example I was telling you, at any given time during the settlement process, any attorney, the starting attorney or the invite/guest attorney can invite a mediator.
Okay.
They basically add the mediator to the system. From there, that attorney will upload their mediation case summary. They can either upload it or we have a form they can fill out. Once they fill that out, the other attorney will get the notification that they need to confirm the mediator.
Okay.
They will log into our system, confirm the mediator, upload their mediation case summary. Then the mediator gets that text message and or email that they've been invited to the case.
Yeah.
Then they would register and log in. Takes literally 2 minutes to log in, not even 2 minutes to register. And once they register, they take control of the board.
Okay.
Our product or our platform integrates a Zoom API. So from there, they can go to the case, the mediator, and it'll give them every person that's involved into the case, and they can check off who they want to have a Zoom call with.
Okay.
And from there, they can initiate a Zoom call.
Breakout rooms.
To breakout rooms,
like
so you can put one party in this room, the other party in that room, and you can just hash it out.
Yeah, mediation, like Zoom has been incredible because since the pandemic, lawyers hate technology. I personally love technology. Most lawyers hate technology. You win cases in the courtroom. All right, but if you are working off of a notepad for your whole case list, it's like ridiculous. Guys with paper files still doesn't make sense. But Zoom has been just amazing for court hearings, but particularly mediations, because to get people in one place at one time is exhausting. Especially like on this case, the lawyers in the Northeast coming to Florida for a mediation. Now we could do it on Zoom. So it's just, I think, money saved as well. So that's really cool that you guys integrate with Zoom as well.
Sure,
that's
you
awesome.
can set up an instant Zoom call.
Okay.
Or you can do a scheduled Zoom call.
Okay.
So whatever you like. So if you want it like right now, It'll immediately shoot a notification to that person, or a scheduled Zoom call. It'll send you an email letting you know that you've been invited to a Zoom call at this certain time and date.
And Abe, you bring up a great point about adoption of technology. So I'm going to, again, give you sort of a medical analogy here. 10 years ago, there was plenty of hospitals that did not use electronic medical records. And so you had a whole, multiple generations of physicians that were used to, scribbling down notes and scribbling down orders. And, a lot of those orders were illegible. And, there are many physicians that really resisted using electronic medical records. But if you take the newer generation of physicians, and let's say the system goes down and they have to use paper, they're almost paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to having the digital tools that have made, medicine actually so much better, more accurate, more efficient, better able to provide for all the needs of the patient and the care team. And I think that attorneys actually, in looking at this, it's very, very similar to what I saw with electronic medical records. I think that we're at an inflection point in the legal industry, with AI and other new technologies emerging. I think that those attorneys that really get into this and adopt them early on will really be the winners down the road.
Yeah.
Because that's where everything is going. As you well know, you're a lot younger than I am. 56 years old, and I'm fairly savvy with technology for my age, but nothing like yourself, I'm sure, or Dale.
I'm pretty technologically inept. I got guys like Dennis over here who take care of me and make sure I can send a text message and stuff like that. He hooks me up. But
I can tell you, I've been in technology my whole career, and I'm 1 year older than him, so I'm 57.
Yeah.
And I've seen it firsthand, just with basically stock trading. My background was I was a financial broker for Merrill Lynch when I graduated school. And back then, you used to have to write your order on a little piece of paper. Now everything's done online.
On the apps now. I remember,
exactly.
I'm in the car hanging out. And I'm like, I got nothing to do. Let me see my stocks. And then I'm like, hey, let me buy some of this, buy some of that. And then
it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. It's not if.
The other thing, is for the attorneys that are not really technologically savvy, I know that their paralegals are.
Yeah.
And so really, realistically, we envision that for many users of this product, it's their paralegals that are going to be really putting in all the information that's needed and really taking direction from the attorneys and then showing them the work product.
Right.
And that's, in reality, that's what often happens anyway, as we all know. So it's not, even if you're technologically, not very savvy and, even if you're inept, as long as you're paralegal and use a piece of software, you're golden. And you can give them whatever privileges you want at whatever level you can set such that they can edit things and really act as your surrogate.
Right.
And in fact, even in the medical industry, we have that. So for a lot of older physicians, as an example, we use scribes. They come in, these people, they go in with the doctor to see the patient, and then they're the ones on the computer, as a physician is actually taking the history and doing the physical and speaking out loud. They're typing everything into the electronic medical record. It's very similar.
My nephew just became a scribe 2
days
ago. He got his badge and everything. He's really excited.
Exploding. Yeah.
So that's cool. I was just about to mention the two things popped to mind talking about attorneys that don't want to adopt technology. There's the guy on Zoom who had the filter of the cat face that blew up over the internet. He went to court as a cat. That guy's lawyer, the person he was representing must have been devastated at that point. But also there was an attorney at one point who I think sued the Florida bar or the Supreme Court for issuing a rule that you must have an email address. This was about 10 years ago. The Florida bar said you have to have an email address. We're going paperless in the future. Every attorney must have an email registered to receive documents for legal pleadings and stuff like this. So our email is service@wesetthestandards.com. Most law firms have a service at, and this lawyer said, I refuse to have any kind of email, and refused. And they said, well, you got two choices. You could either have somebody make you an email and figure out how to use it, or you could stop being an attorney. Very harsh. because they said we're moving forward here. You know, technology is coming, and I love that you guys have the software because legal technology is really, like you said, booming right now. It's an industry. You know, before Litify, there was 1,000 small companies to manage your caseload, all little companies, rinky-dinky companies, whatever. And now there's Litify. I actually use Salesforce, which is what Litify is built off of. Technology has allowed our office to grow exponentially.
Right.
We can see things like data points and stuff like that. And it's very similar to what you're talking about. You know, they get a task. Once they mark it completed, they see their task count go down and they go, oh, wow, this is great. Like I could do this now versus 1,000 Post-it notes. And so I want to get back to the software. So you guys can do the scheduling. You guys can invite mediators. Is there are the mediators invited, or is there a list that if I was in there, I could choose? I say, you know what, I like this guy or that guy.
We can compile a list because after you invite a mediator, you can add them to existing, we call it.
Okay.
So they can be available for anybody in the future.
Okay.
By a list, and it automatically populates the fields that needs to go out.
Yeah, because mediators need something like this too.
Sure.
Because normally they send out like a Zoom link and that's it. That's all they got. A Zoom link. And when the Zoom link's over, it's over.
If you do the Zoom call through our system, they'll get an email with the exact schedule, when it is, with the links and everything else.
Yeah, and sometimes they say, oh, we got a new link. We lost that old link or whatever. Send this new link out.
But the beauty of our software too is it fits a very, I don't want to say it like a simple domestic divorce case, all the way to complex litigation. What I mean by that is you can have one company suing another company, and they can have multiple parties within the case. And each party can have their own different attorney. And you can create those groups within our software. And the beauty of it is that all the information that goes into the system is compartmentalized and chronologically summarized within our case management system. So they can actually see what took place from start to finish. Then if you're a guy like him that's OCD, you can log in and see if you're part of this group within this case. In that group, you can see multiple groups within the case.
Yeah, I would love to see court systems adopt this kind of a technology because I know that I went through the certified mediator program in the state of Florida. I figured, I was like, I'll do this, try it out. I didn't like being a mediator, but I had to do a couple practice mediations at the courthouse. I had to observe several. This was when I was a brand new attorney. I'm talking like 2 years in. And it's a joke. You wait outside the courthouse. I don't know what it's like nowadays since Zoom, because most people do it on Zoom. You wait outside and they go, hey, next mediation's up. And they do a lot of evictions. They do a lot of, I don't want to say divorce. It's more like child custody battles kind of thing, time sharing battles. They say custody, child custody is a bad word now. It's time sharing, it's not prison, but it's just a different sense of words, I guess. But, on the timeshare, every time, bitter X always brings the other person back in to go over it. Or maybe there's an issue there. I don't want to use that phrase, but it's really exhausting. And you just got to wait. And so now you have this kind of a platform open to the masses even. Like you said, it's open for anything from simple divorce to complex litigation. Yeah,
and the settlement board, as we call it, can be customized too.
Okay.
We give you certain select terms that you can select, but you can also add anything on your own.
Okay, so you have generic
we have, if you select, for example, domestic litigation, it'll give you alimony, child support, so on and so forth. But let's say, for example, everybody loves their dog. I love my German Shepherd, who I miss a lot right now.
I got a little Yorkie. I love her.
Cool. And you want to have petting arrangements.
Okay.
Who has custody of the dog, both physical and legal? You can do that. When can I visit my dog? You can do that. So you can customize the software or the settlement board as you see fit. It's very flexible in that way.
That's cool. I like that.
And if you're a personal injury attorney and you've got certain, terms that you always like, you can have a template. You can create a template off of our template. Okay. In other words, you could add and personalize it and change it, save it, and so the next
customize
case.
The board.
And part of that is because we want attorneys that adopt our product and our technology to be more efficient, so that they can actually take on more cases.
Right.
So in other words,
Love that.
Yeah, if you're dealing usually with 5 or 10 open cases that you're trying to settle, maybe you could double that.
Yeah.
Because your turnaround time will be much quicker.
And less stress.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even though, to be frank, a lot of attorneys may say, well, billable hours. But we believe that you can increase your caseload anywhere from 25, 30% and up by digitizing the process.
Right.
So not only do you save time, but you can increase your caseload, would definitely offset that loss of revenue, so to speak, from billable hours.
Yeah.
Plus, you can reduce costs too.
Yeah. You had
And that's
talked
what it's
about electronic medical records. And when the first MRI center, I bought it from a friend of mine, and his biller was paper.
Right.
And it took her to find one file an hour to 3 hours, depending on the file. And it just took up all this time. And I said, that's a waste of time, don't you think? Oh, well, and so once we went digital, find it in seconds. So digitizing the workload for the lawyers is so much easier.
Right.
You don't have to find that file. That file's with you on your phone. It's with you on your computer, your iPad, wherever. You don't have to, I left it at the house today, So I love what you said, because lawyers really need to get on board with it. Courts need to get on board with it. And I think this is a great software for any type of litigation, is what it sounds like. Really, it's flexible.
It is.
It can be customized a lot, and I'm sure you guys are rolling out probably some new features here and there as things pop up. People make suggestions and stuff like that.
And that's the thing about it. Being one of the owners, myself and Sanj, I'll listen to people. If I can make it better, I'll get our programmers to do it.
Okay.
Because we want it to be huge.
Right.
We want to make a difference.
Right.
And we believe that we are at the right time to do it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and we really want to make this product valuable for people. And so to the extent that they have particular needs or wants, the platform is very flexible. So it's not really a big deal for us to tweak it here and there. I think that we've thought through a lot of the potential questions and issues that attorneys, might raise with us. But having said that, there's an infinite number of things that could occur in the future. And so, we are a very small and nimble company, and we're all about the consumer.
Awesome.
And our clients are attorneys and mediators. And so, we'll do everything we can to make them happy.
And the one thing I've learned, and I'm very grateful to be part of this, convention, is that I've talked to a lot of different attorneys, and I got ideas just by talking to them. Things that I wrote down, and I'm going to take back, and we're going to start looking at implementing them.
Yeah, the FJA is a great organization.
It is.
It's probably one of the best in the country as a trial lawyer, personal injury lawyer association. It's one of the best, probably most widely supported, financially, great membership, stuff like that. And I'm glad to be a part of the FGA as an attorney, but also as like a business. Our business comes here and meets people as well. We have like an exhibit booth like you guys.
Right.
And it's a great organization. I'm proud to be a part of it. But the attorneys that are here are like top notch, some of the best in the country.
Oh, yeah,
These guys
for sure.
litigate cases, big cases all over the United States. They're brought in. Some of them are brought in on multi-million-dollar cases when they need a big, the big guns to come out. And so we've had some of them on the podcast here, but as well. And so thank you guys for being on here. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about, your software or?
Boy, one thing I just wanted to mention is that by coming here and talking to a lot of the different vendors, there's a lot of synergies. We spoke to people that are in the settlement consulting business.
Okay.
Where they would look at the settlement and, do their consulting through annuities or whatever. These are the kind of people that can be invited to the case.
Okay.
So they can see what's going on in real time and to make their job easier to craft up a better settlement.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah, it's been really helpful for us.
Cool. Yeah. Making good connections here. That's what I like about the FJ, as well as you make some great connections over the years. The more you come, the more people you meet, and the more friendly. I remember coming here probably 2-3 years ago, and I didn't know anybody. And I was like, I don't want to meet anybody. I'm nervous. Who's this guy? And now I walk around, and I've had some people on the podcast, and they're introducing me to other people. I'm like, this organization's freaking awesome. They're really welcoming.
Yeah.
The first time is a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't know anybody, but the more you come, the more they get to know you. And that's really what I love about the FJs. They're very welcoming.
Yeah.
Abe, I just wanted to add that we do have an affiliate program as well.
Okay.
So, if you adopt technology and you like it and, you're being successful with it and other attorneys, adopt it as a result of your adoption, then we have an affiliate program so that, we want to reward people who, use the product early on and help to disseminate it and grow it organically. And it can be actually quite lucrative for those individuals. And so happy to discuss that more on a individual basis. But we want people to, be excited about this. We're super excited. We launched about 3 weeks ago. We've been working on this for about 3 years. Got slowed down a little bit by COVID, like a lot of people.
A lot going on during COVID.
Yeah. So, but we're ready to roll with this. And, if anybody has questions, then, they can contact us directly. Be happy to discuss. And we've got a great website as well. Dale, do you want to detail that a little bit?
The website's settlementdriver.com.
Awesome.
And you can go there and you can sign up for a free trial. You get a 2-week free trial.
Okay.
And after that 2 weeks, you don't want to go, you can just cancel.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to start. Just select a plan, go from there, fill out a simple form. Everything's highly secured. So in that sense, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Being a tech guy myself, that was one of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure everything was highly secure.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
It's easy to start. And like Sanj said, we got a really good affiliate program that not only pays on the first referral, but any second, third, or fourth referral too. Goes back to you. So you can really generate a lot of money.
So if an attorney likes it, a mediator likes it, and then they start getting other people to, I guess, get to invite other people, and that person says, hey, I want to use this on my next case.
You'll get that guy too.
They'll get, okay,
and
awesome.
then that guy likes it and he invites another attorney. Well, you'll get that fourth referral.
Okay, awesome.
So you
Very
can
cool.
really generate a lot of income through our affiliate program.
Cool. Awesome. I like that.
The security, confidentiality, the encryption are at the highest level. Because obviously these are very sensitive discussion points, and as we all know, they're not discoverable, but you want to make sure that they're in a vault, essentially. And so what we can assure attorneys is that their information will be completely secure. And moreover, if the attorneys say, you know what, these negotiation discussions aren't working out, we're going to go to court, there is the opportunity to delete all the information as well.
It's completely wiped off.
Yes.
Okay.
And so again, there's no paper trail if you don't want it. And if you do want a paper trail, there's a wonderful chronologic summary and all the attached notes and so forth, and negotiated deal points.
You could always pull that summary up at any given time.
So you got the website, settlementdriver.com. If people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, actually, they can call my cell phone. It's area code 330-805-4864. You could text me as well. Or if you'd like, you can just send me an email at settlementdriver@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
You.
Appreciate you guys taking the time out of the day. Awesome to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Talk with you guys. And appreciate you guys being here. So.